Thank you all for joining us. We are 2 minutes past the hour, and I think we can begin. I'd like to welcome all of you to our webinar on informal work. My name is Clive D'Souza. I'm from the University of Pittsburgh, and I serve as chair for the International Ergonomics and Human Factors Association Technical Committee on Informal Work. We, as a technical committee, were formed in 2023. And our main objective is to increase knowledge and capacity about the intersection of informal work, human factors engineering, and the informal sector. One of our key initiatives is to conduct this webinar series where we go around the world talking about informal work, how it affects worker health, safety, ergonomics, as well as provide visibility to different projects happening in the area of informal work and ergonomics around the world. We've conducted many webinars in the past on projects happening in Latin America, in parts of in Europe, and then today's webinar is focused on informal work in India. Next month, we will have another webinar focused on informal work in New York City. If you'd like to learn more about our technical committee, you're welcome to check out our website where we have more information about our group, as well as ways that you can join us. We meet as a technical committee on the third Friday of every month at 8:30 a.m. US Eastern Time on Zoom. If you're interested in becoming a member or joining any of our meetings or would like to host one of your own webinars through our platform, then you're welcome to reach out to me through my email address posted here. I would also like to take this moment to thank all of my regional vice chairs for our technical committee. That includes our Vice Chair for Latin America, Alen Garagay, Vice Chair for Asia Pacific, Professor Mohammed Muzammil, who is also on today's webinar, Vice Chair for Africa, Dr. Augustin Aqua, and our Vice Chair for Europe, Maggie Graf. Our agenda for today's webinar on ergonomics and informal work in India, case examples from Eastern India, is as follows. First, we'll begin with a quick welcome message. I will also introduce our session chair for today and our moderator, Professor Somnath Gangopadhyay from the University of Calcutta, as well as Professor Mohammed Muzammil from the Aligarh Muslim University. Next, Professor Somnath will introduce our webinar very briefly and provide introductions to 3 of our panelists. This will be followed by 3 panel presentations, each of about 20 minutes. And then we'll have a moderated Q&A session of about 20 minutes that will be moderated by Professor Muzammil. So with some quick introductions, but before that, just some housekeeping guidelines. Throughout the course of today's webinar, I request that all of you keep your microphone on mute and then turn them back on only during the Q&A session. You're welcome to post any questions you have for our presenters using the Q&A chat feature in the Zoom platform, and we will go through each of these questions during the Q&A period. A recording of today's webinar will be posted on YouTube in about 2 weeks from today's date. As well as if you have any interest in obtaining a certificate of completion, you will receive an email following the webinar in the coming days with some instructions about the steps you would need to follow to obtain this certificate of completion. So with that, I'll move to some quick introductions. So we have, again, our session chair for today and facilitating panel introductions is Professor Somnath Gangopadhyay. He is professor and former head of the Department of Physiology at the University of Calcutta, where he also leads the Occupational Ergonomics Laboratory. Professor Somnath has been an active member of the ergonomics community and in the Indian Ergonomics Society for many decades. He was awarded the title of Fellow and received chartered status by the Chartered Institute of Ergonomics and Human Factors in the United Kingdom. He is also a Fellow of the Physiological Society of India and a Fellow of the Indian Society of Biomedical Scientists for his many academic and research contributions in the field of biomedical sciences and ergonomics. He presently serves as chair for the IEA Scientific Committee on Occupational Health in Small-Scale Enterprises and the Informal Sector, and is an active member of our IEA Technical Committee on Informal Work. I thank Professor Somnath for his help in organizing today's webinar and for inviting our distinguished panel of presenters. The moderator for today's session is Professor Mohammad Muzammil, professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Aligarh Muslim University. At the Aligarh Muslim University, he also leads the department's ergonomics research division. He has over 25 years of teaching and research experience and is widely published in the areas of human factors and engineering, occupational ergonomics, and human factors of an exposure to vibration and noise. He presently serves as the IEA Technical Committee for Informal Work Vice Chair for the Asia Pacific region. I thank Professor Muzammil for his service as Vice Chair on our technical committee and for his time serving as moderator for today's session. With that, I will hand it over to Professor Somnath to introduce today's distinguished panel of presenters. Professor Somnath, over to you.
Good evening from India. I'm Somnath, as already Clive mentioned. So today I'm going to give a brief introduction about the panelists, but before that, I'm just say a few words about this, the initiation of the idea of this webinar. That idea of initiation, started from our annual conference in India in University of Calcutta, HWWE 2024, and that idea, that initiation was started by by Maggie Graff, and then thanks Clive that also you helped us to start this webinar in the informal sector, especially in case of the Eastern India. So as you know that there are so many problems of the informal sectors in India, and also especially in the Eastern India. So I'm just going a quick introductions of these three speakers. The first speaker will be Dr. Tamal Das. He is an assistant professor and head Department of Physiology, Vidyasagar Metropolitan College, University of Calcutta. And he was previously as a researcher in WHO program in an international project, and also as a research associate in Indo-US project. And he has 22 international publications. His research interest around occupational health, physical ergonomics, and design. He is a life member of different learner societies, including Indian Society of Ergonomics. The next speaker will be Professor Prakash Dhara. He was a former professor of the Department of Human Physiology and Community Health of the Vidyasagar University. His research interest includes ergonomics in unorganized sector, sports physiology, community health, agriculture, ergonomics, hand tool and furniture design, and also ergonomics of the old age, and ergonomics in mining. He has more than 110 publications in different national and international journals. Presently, he serves as the Vice President of the Indian Society of Ergonomics. And he is also a fellow and member of the different learned societies of India. And he has been acting as an active member of the Bureau of Indian Standard for Ergonomics Sectional Committee PGD 15 of BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards. And our last speaker will be Dr. Shogato Karmakar, professor in the Department of Design, Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Guwahati. He teaches ergonomics and human factors at the undergraduate BDes, Bachelor in Design, and postgraduate Master in Design and doctoral level. His research interests include physical ergonomics, cognitive ergonomics, occupational health and safety, user-centered design, and universal design. He has published 53 research papers in international journals. He has acquired a good number of patents and design registrations for his innovative design. He is an executive committee member of the Indian Society of Ergonomics. And more we should say about him, that he is a member of the Ergonomics Sectional Committee of the Bureau of Indian Standard, a regular member of the Human Factors and Ergonomics Society, USA, and a member of the International Commission on Occupational Health. So these are the introductions of our speaker. So should we start with the first speaker, Tamal Das, Dr. Tamal Das, for his presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is the slide showing?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. First of all, I'm extremely thrilled and privileged for getting this opportunity to deliver my talk amidst an August gathering. Actually, as Professor Gangopadhyay mentioned, that I have been fortunate enough to meet Professor Dr. Maggie Graf in an international conference, HWWE, held in University of Calcutta in December. And I am thankful to her for recommending my name as a speaker for this webinar. And it is also imperative here to thank Professor Somnath Gangopadhyay, who has not only been my PhD supervisor, but also been a person from whom I learned the nitty-gritty of research involving human subjects. Well, as you can see from the slide, my title of today's presentation is Mitigation of Musculoskeletal Disorders of Informal Sector in India. Now, before going into informal sector, what we mean by occupational health? It's a relationship between work and health. It's a social, mental, and physical condition of the workers. So, the basic aims of occupational health is promotion and maintenance of optimum physical, mental, and social well-being in whatever occupation a person is doing, protecting person or workers from adverse health effects caused or aggravated by their working conditions, and mitigating risk factors affecting workers during their employment. Now, if we go into, I will give a brief summary of the overall status of informal sector in India. This is the data which I got from eShram platform, which is given by the Ministry of Labour, Government of India, where you can see that number of informal enterprises have increased. Number of informal enterprises have increased to 65 million from 2021 to 2022. Number of workers has crossed more than 100 million. And if you look at the composition of the workers, you will find that 74% are from the reserve category, and you will be surprised to find that more than 50% registered workers are female. And if we look at the occupational point of view, agriculture accounts for more than 50% of all enrollments, followed by domestic and household employees and construction workers. Now, what are the key features of informal sector? Mostly people are migrant worker here from low socioeconomic strata. They have erratic work schedule. More work gives them the opportunity to earn more. Faulty work postures, handling stupendous load overhead, high frequency, traversing extensive distance on uneven surface with load, nominal rest pauses, anomaly in shift work, low levels of skill, low and irregular incomes, no written agreements. They lack access to institutional credit, unregulated markets, and easy entry. Now, my today's deliberation will involve four basic sectors under this informal category: workers of the iron foundry, brass metal workers, porters of the central market area, and online delivery executives. Now, firstly, workers of the iron foundry. In West Bengal, iron foundry is predominantly, most of the iron foundries are predominantly placed in the district of Howrah. Now here, workers, you can see from the photographs that workers carrying molten iron from the furnace by means of a ladle. The mass of empty ladle is 25 kg and the mass of molten iron is 5 kg. As you can see, he is bare-bodied, bare feet, housekeeping is very poor, and to say the least, extremely hot and humid work environment. And they are doing it day in and day out, maintaining this condition. So you can very well understand the appalling situation that these people are going through. Now, if you look into the second sector, the brass metal workers, the brass metal work is a very old or primitive form of work. It's like a cottage industry, and it is practiced in many parts of West Bengal, but mostly in Murshidabad district, with its headquarters in Bahrampur. And this brass metal work involves rigorous hand-intensive job. People here are manufacturing buckets of different sizes. First, they take a sheet of brass metal. They continuously hammer it manually for imparting the shape. The hammer size and the mass varies depending upon the utensil that is to be designed or its shape. However, the hammer size varies from 400 grams to 2.5 kg. Once it's complete, they're polished and engraved to set the pattern on the surface. This engraving is also a very strenuous process. Why? Because they're doing it, as you can see in the photograph here, that they're doing it bare hand, and there is every possibility that them injury or cut may occur in their fingers. So the basic activities that entail brass metal work, hammering, which is the most predominant one, followed by this manual engraving task. So far you can see that both these two sectors, the condition of the people of these two sectors. And in this sector, brass metal workers, the problem is that they are doing it in their homes, although they are doing it in their homes, but the market is slowly dwindling. So there is dearth of alternative occupation, and they are suffering, and their agonies are going on increasing. Now, the porters of central market area. Now, porters of the central market area, this central market area is one of the largest central market area of India. It is located in the heart of the city of Kolkata. This market operates throughout day and night because the load or it's basically a wholesale vegetable market, vegetable and fruit market. So in whatever mode the goods come, maybe via road transport, maybe by railway. Railway is in a very close vicinity of this market. Sialda railway station, which is a very popular and busiest, one of the busiest railway stations of India. So in whatever mode they come, these people have to be vigilant all the time that whenever a load is coming, they have to unload it from maybe the truck or from the trolley that is being drawn from the railway station, and they lift it and they carry it inside the market and unload it there. And the manual load handling is enormous, to say the least. For example, if you can see from the photographs as well, that a person whose mass is around 70 kg, he is lifting a weight of around 100 kg. So it's a very difficult and very strenuous work for them. And this work they do not at all get any response, because there is hardly any time. The market never goes off or the market never stops. And they carry this load through very narrow, slippery road surface inside the market with parts of rotten vegetables everywhere. And there's every chance of toppling with the load whenever he or she is carrying it inside the market. And even the unloading process also involve a lot of awkward postures. Now I come to the online delivery agents. We all know that e-platform or e-business have become a global trend now. Many of the youths, particularly in India, they are getting employed here and they're in search of money, they're doing it. But this online delivery is also a bit cumbersome. Why? Because there are some categories under this. A group of people is doing food delivery. For example, they are going to some restaurants. They're picking up the food and delivering it to the customers. There is another category, which is a goods delivery that involves small parcels, medicines, which is again served door to door. And the third category involves goods delivery, which are bulk orders. Say people are booking their monthly grocery from any of the online platforms. So that is huge, 40, 50 items, they're carrying it on their back and they're delivering it at our doorstep. So again, here also, these people operate throughout day and night. And mostly they get around, say, 5 to 6 hours of break in the night. Again, early morning, they start their work. So at times, enormous manual load handling. And most importantly, for some cases, for example, the food delivery cases, it is a time-bound operation where a person has to deliver the food hot at the doorstep of the customer. So in order to pursue that, they actually are using their two-wheelers and they're riding at breakneck speed through the congested and busy roads of the city. We all know that Kolkata is a bustling city with a lot of traffic congestion, and they are riding through it at breakneck speed to deliver on time. And more often than not, we see in the newspapers that they are getting affected by accidents. Even fatal accidents are taking place at times. So this time-bound delivery is not only creating a menace in terms of their accident proneness, but also generating considerable stress in these people. And most importantly, if at all this food is not delivered in time, their wage is also deducted. So they are penalized very badly for this. So although it looks very alluring from outside, this type of jobs or these agents are doing, but it's not so. It involves a lot of physical and mental stress. Now, we all know that musculoskeletal disorders or work-related musculoskeletal disorders can arise in all the four situations, in all the four sectors that I've talked of, because of the following reasons: physical strain, repetitive motion, forceful motion, mechanical stress, static posture, and local vibration. In case of the foundry workers, they are also exposed to extremely odd thermal environment. So, how to ascertain musculoskeletal disorders? There are a lot of methods. We know questionnaire. We can assess posture analysis by different methods like OWS, RULA, and REBA. Time and motion study of repetitiveness, which is again a very important causative factor for work-related musculoskeletal disorder. Electromyography and nerve conduction velocity. So what does ergonomics try to do here? Ergonomics actually try to point out, first of all, the risk factors that is involved in these occupations. Okay, so 7 ergonomic risk factors or ergonomic risk assessment is very important to ascertain the level of physical and mental stress that these people, hapless people, are undergoing through. Awkward or poor posture, static and sustained posture, forceful exertion, repetitive motion, vibration, contact stress, and environmental factors. So, how can ergonomics mitigate or lessen the agony of these people? Hierarchy of control, you can see elimination, substitution, engineering controls, administrative controls, and PPE. All have their impacts, all have their pros and cons. Elimination, physically remove the hazard. This is the most effective one, but mostly it's not possible at times. Replace the hazard, which is again very difficult. Isolate the people from that hazard. That is again difficult, but what we can do is at least provide these people with personal protective equipment, which these people are not using at all. So these are the few suggestive measures that are being depicted here that we can look for intervention. Intervention can be in the form of tool, in the form of workstation design, process design. We can try to improve the work posture of the people. Introduction of new tool. Again, there is an issue here because we are working in a developing country. So the moment we talk of introduction of new tool, along with it comes the economic feasibility, whether at all it will be viable, whether the people will be able to use it. We have to look into it. Periodic physical examination of the workforce, training programs for preventing or prevention of musculoskeletal problems. Most importantly, follow-up of the workers, consideration of work organization, adequate rest pauses while at work, use of personal protective devices, consuming balanced diet at periodic intervals, and practice of yoga and freehand exercise on a regular schedule. Here, I feel it pertinent to mention that in case of the central market area, in case of the porters who are working in central market area, we tried to introduce intervention in the form of freehand exercise and yoga. We first did the pre-intervention study, and then we introduced the intervention. We arranged training program for these people. We tried to make them understand that how important it is to carry out freehand exercise and practice yoga on a daily basis to alleviate their pain, because mostly they suffer from a lot of pain and they depend on alcohol because they believe that alcohol can give them, actually mask their pain feeling, or they may go for over-the-counter different painkillers, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We tried to reason them, we tried to make them understand that if you go for freehand exercise, yoga, initially you may be feeling pain, but if you practice it on a regular basis for a 3-month period, then definitely you are going to gain benefit from that. We carried out surveillance in that matter, that whether they are doing it or not. As you know that most of them are very reluctant. They do not feel it the need to do it on a regular basis. But fortunately, we found a few of them who did it on a regular basis, and the results that have come up was very encouraging, that they reported that there was some reduction in their pain feeling at different parts of their body. So intervention can be of any form, but intervention, low cost, easily feasible ones should be our aim, I believe. And here, yoga and freehand exercise can be a very important parameter or very important tool in alleviating the conditions of these people. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dash, for your excellent presentation. And you know that you have pointed out so many things about the different informal sectors, and including also the food delivery system. So thanks for your on-time presentation. If there's any questions, that will be in the question answer session.
Okay.
And that will be
Thank you.
conducted.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we are going to the second presentation. Professor Dhara, please share your screen and please start your presentation. Thank you.
I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
And the screen showing the slide, isn't it?
Yes, of course, of course.
Oh, okay, okay,
Right.
okay. So, good evening and good morning, wherever it is applicable. And I, at the outset, I must offer my sincere thanks to the technical committee IEA for informal sector, for informal work, and I also offer my thanks to Professor Gangopadhyay, the chair of this session, and also Dr. Muzammil, who is the vice chair of Asia Pacific, and other vice chairman and the chair, for giving me the opportunity to share of some of my views in this unique platform. Now, this time, my topic of this lecture is ergonomic modification of local hand tools used in paddy cultivation in India. So, you know, agriculture, the paddy cultivation is the workers are from the informal sector, and there is a large section of the Indian population are involved in the agricultural work. So here I am giving my emphasis on the local hand tools. So in course of my lecture, you will see why I am giving the emphasis on the local. Agricultural tasks in India, particularly the paddy cultivation, carried out mainly through manual efforts. In India, it is done by manual effort, although mechanization has been started in different parts of India, throughout the India. But you see, in Eastern India, particularly some states, some peoples are still using the work through their manual labor. Now, so paddy cultivation jobs consist of several steps, including preparation of lands, sowing of seeds, uprooting of seedlings, transplantation, weeding, reaping, threshing, and winnowing, etc. So you see, during this work, as they are done mainly through their manual efforts, so they had to adopt different awkward postures during this time, during doing their jobs. So particularly the forward bend, semi bend, walking, sitting, squatting postures are noted in different times, and these are adopted repeatedly. Repeatedly it is done. And you see, the work has been done in the state of West Bengal in India, which is a state of Eastern India. And this is a predominantly agrarian state, with the agriculture as the main occupation for the majority of its population. And the state has about 71.23 lakh farm families, with 96% of them are being small and marginal farmers. And here you see the steps of the paddy cultivation process, starting from the preparation of the land, preparation of the seed bed, sowing of the seed bed, the uprooting of the seedling, and then transplantation, weeding, reaping, bundling of straws, and carrying the straws to the farmyard, threshing, collection of the rice grain, and it is again using the sowing or the collection of the paddy grains for storage and selling, and also the collection of the straw, that is also sellable commodity. So all these steps, the agricultural worker are involved, both male and female. A large number of female are also engaged in different steps of this cultivation. So you see, as we have mentioned, that they have to adopt different awkward postures or inappropriate posture during doing their jobs. So they actually suffer from the musculoskeletal disorder. So musculoskeletal disorder was evaluated by means of the modified Nordic questionnaire, and so I am showing some of the some summary of the results of some of my one of my studies. You see, in case of the in different body segment, there is the prevalence of the musculoskeletal disorder here in both male and female worker. More than 200 male and 200 more than 250 females were selected for this evaluation. And you see what are the major findings, that most prevalent problems at the body parts is the lower back, thigh and shoulder. And the female worker had the greater prevalence in MSD in all the body parts except in feet than that of the male workers. Now here is the different job wise. So as I have mentioned, that different jobs of the paddy cultivation, uprooting, transplantation, etc. So here the prevalence of musculoskeletal disorder in different jobs, you see. And so these are the data shown from the male workers. You see the red shaded areas are most prevalent areas of the body showing here. And here is the female worker, their prevalence in different body parts, in different types of jobs involved. So the findings are the most prevalent in the uprooting task, and both in case of the male and female worker, and which is followed by the threshing task. And female worker are more affected than the male worker in all paddy cultivation tasks. In all paddy cultivation tasks, they are mostly involved. Now, I am just going to some ergonomic modification of the local hand tools. Now, what are the rationale of these things, local hand tools? Now, see, the agricultural task in India, particularly the paddy cultivation, carried out mainly through the manual efforts, as I have mentioned, leading to occurrence of MSD and injuries. We have discussed. And they use different types of hand tools for executing different tasks of paddy cultivation. And workers had to adopt different inappropriate postures, different activities causing health hazards due to the incompatibility of the hand tools. It may be. So such inappropriate posture might be due to the using tools which are not compatible with the users. So that's why we are made some effort to some ergonomic intervention for redesigning the hand tools, so that some of the MSDs and some of the drawbacks can be removed or can be reduced. Now, locally made hand tools, what are the importance is most of the cultivator in the eastern India are the marginal and small landowners. Marginal and small, this point is important because you see, they don't use the tractors and or other power operated machines in different rice cultivation jobs, because they have no capacity to purchase this kind of tractors or other power operated tool, and because also it is not they are not economic for them, because they have the small piece of land, it is even less than 1 acre they possess. So they actually exert their manual effort. So all the tasks they done manually with using some hand tools. But these devices were are local hand tools. Locally they are made, and but during their making, they didn't consider the ergonomic principles or human factors. So in this presented investigation, we have made some effort to modify these devices and tools from the ergonomics and human factors point of view. So I shall give some example here. Some of the small hand tools they use for different steps of the this agricultural activity. So what were the steps of ergonomic design we used here? First of all, step 1, we have evaluated the drawbacks of the conventional hand tools they use. And secondly, anthropometric survey of the user population conducted. And from the drawbacks, we have tried to develop some design concept for solving these human related factors. And the fourth is the, according to the design concept, some prototype models were prepared, and these prototype models were tested on their comparative basis through the paired comparison test, one of them. The pair comparison test, actually the workers were involved in this process. So this is a participatory design mode, because the workers are all involved in the testing, and their suggestions were taken into account for designing this or modification of these hand tools. And a final design was selected from these observations, and ultimately, finally, the suitability and acceptability of the design hand tools were tested by some physiological and biomechanical parameter like pulse rate, body evaluation of body joint angle, spinal curvature, center of gravity of the whole body, and subjective evaluation also made, and productivity were also done. So first of all, I am showing the anthropometric survey we have made, and I'm just showing the tables of the anthropometric survey. So many anthropometric data were taken. They may not be used for all design cases, but they can be used in different cases. So both male and female, they are taken, and their percentage of difference are shown here. And not only that, these are the general anthropometric data, that is the body dimensional data. And here are the only the hand dimension, you see. The hand dimension, as the hand tools are concerned, so hand dimension data are important. Both here also male and female, from the both population we have collected the data. So the findings were there are the significant difference between some body composition, some body dimension in male and female, but the difference is not very high. The difference is only from 3.23 to 17% difference. So here we considered the so the design, actually the hand tools they use, the same hand tools, both male and female they use. However, we have computed the percentile 50th and 95th percentile of the each dimension was computed, and percentile value was used for designing hand tools and workstation. And this data can also be used for the other design purpose also for this population. So ergonomic intervention. So what intervention we have show some cases here. So first of all, we are designing of the paddy spreader. Paddy spreader. Paddy spreader. What is paddy spreader? A paddy spreader is used for spreading the threshed paddy grain. After threshing, the paddy grains are collected, and they are given on the ground for drying under the sunlight. So actually, it is spreaded. So for this purpose, paddy spreader is needed, and it is also used for accumulating the grain after the drying process. This is accumulated, again it is stored. Now, there are some conventional methods for this. So first conventional method one is the spreading of the grains through the broom. You see, they use the broom for spreading as well as that accumulating the grain. This is a very conventional method, but there are some drawbacks of these problems. That is the worker is required to adopt the forward bend postures, and there is a chance of scattering of the grain while using the broom. So these are the drawbacks in the system. There is conventional method of the two. The people are also spread the paddy grain by means of their barefoot on a piece of land or piece of ground. And here is also some problems of this method. That is the small injuries in the feet, and this process is very less productive. It takes much time to spreading or accumulating the grain. So they also use, so they actually made a conventional tool, a local made equipment, paddy spreader. This is like this, but here are some problem also. This conventional tool, that is the lack of proper gripping here, and forward bend posture during the work, and there is discomfort in the different body part due to the adopting awkward posture like this. You see that this is using this lady is using this paddy spreader, this tool, this local hand tool, and but he is So is required to adopt a strong forward bending posture in this existing pattern. So these are the problems involved. So that's why we some concept was developed how it can be redesigned. That actually after this concept from the concept we actually some suggestion has been given that the length and diameter of the handle, that is the interface of the tool with the worker, that has been changed, and the angle between also the handle and the blade, that also will be helpful for their worker and good adopting good posture. So these two criteria we suggested to make the same, and accordingly we made some prototype model, and they are tested. And finally we made a design for modification in the design and for this. And so here you see this is the final tool safe and design, and here that will be different dimension are there. There is a particular angle between the handle and this blade, and the this is the gripping area. It is done in such a way this is matches with the inner hand grip diameter of the worker. So this is the thing. And after using this, this is the huge actually this one is the redesigned model. And you see this is the worker, the female worker both are working, but you see that the workers is not required to bend too much here. So there is a improved posture, no or little forward bending here, and that at the time of spreading for gathering the grain, we using this particular. So it is an improved posture. The posture has been improved, and so there are some musculoskeletal problem has been also improved. It is actually studied. So subjective evaluation made in the pain in the lower back, pain in the wrist, pain in the palm. We have studied, and it is comparative the existing one and the modified. It is actually drastically it is reduced to by using this modified hand tools, modified hand tools. So this is a simple intervention which made this the lessening of the discomfort of the workers. Then we studied another tool that is used for the land leveling. So preparation of the land leveling is an important factor before the sowing of the seeds or the transplantation. The transplantation of the seedling is done before during the paddy cultivation. So here the land leveling is preparation of land is an part and parcel of this preparation of the land. So leveling is usually done conventionally by means of two ways here in the eastern India. That is the manually operated land leveler, that is a bamboo or a pipe is used for leveling the land, leveling that after tilling. And also an animal drawn land leveler also. Here a pair of pulls are used to for pulling this leveling equipment, and that is done. That's animal drawn. These two kinds are found. Actually, we made some alteration of these two kinds of. And just briefly, I am stating what is we have done. And you see the but you see a variety of materials used for the leveler, like piece of wood, iron pipe, or a slip of bamboo. So farmers are exposed to different musculoskeletal problem while doing or operating such kind of tools. So ergonomic intervention is required for this direction. And so you see, this is the conventional manually drawn levelers. This is a ladder used. Ladder is used, and that ladder is used, and it is pulled manually. Actually, with these two ladders, a rope is actually tied, and it is just they pull like this this way. And here also here this is also some rope is tied here, and it is also done for the leveling purpose. So this is the existing method how they used to do their leveling of the land. So intervention was made. So what intervention said, it is suggested that from the design concept, we suggested that there should be a fixed, there is no fixed handle of this, instead the rope is used. So there should be a fixed handle with proper length and diameter instead of rope, and diameter was fixed according to the hand grip diameter of the users. And a suitable angle was provided between the handle and ladder, which will provide some ease of work. So some prototype was prepared according to their developed design concept, and the paired comparison tests were done for finalizing the different dimension of the tool. Paired comparison test is a very important test. It is an important tool for using the for designing purpose. And you see, this is here the workers are taken into account, actually used, and their suggestions were taken. And so this is in participatory mode. So this is some I'm showing the test result, paired comparison test result for the different parameter we have done. So number one, this is the position of the handle, position and type of the handle. We have made some model here. See, 1, 2, 3. These are the existing, and MM1 and MM2, MM3. These are the modified one, and we have made the paired comparison involving the workers, and they during this work, during this testing, they actually use all of these models, and they give a score, and according to the score, it is plotted here, and it has shown that from this here, that is the MM1. That means the two bamboo metal handles are connected to the extended rod of the angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. This is the model one, modified model one. It got the modified. It is the highest score. So position of the handle and type of handle was selected on this basis. Second was the distance between two handles, and here also the MM1. That is the MM1 means that is the distance between the two handle was the 47 centimeter, and has other model has the different distance. So it has been selected as this. And another is the length of the handle. Here it is the length of the handle was fixed in the as 175 centimeter according to the view of the worker test results. And that is the weight of the leveler also fixed, and weight of the leveler was 7 kg. 7 kg it was selected, and the length of the leveler, it was also selected. It was actually 141 centimeter, and the diameter of the handle was 3.5 centimeter was the 4.5 centimeter was the highest. That is MM2. That is the shows the highest value. So we have selected this one as the final one. But this is the final one. Here we considered two things. That is the results of the paired comparison test, and as well as the anthropometric diameter. Say for example, the position of the handle, we have taken the result of the paired comparison test, that is MM1, the angle of 30 degree. This suggestion actually was the highest result. So the angle between the handle and the leveler was fixed as 30 degree. And the distance between two handles, that is the, here we require, we have taken the anthropometric data also, elbow to elbow distance of the worker in relaxed position. And it was actually 95th percentile was 46.5 centimeter, and MM1 it shows that is the pair competition, so it is the 47 centimeter. It is more or less the same. So we have selected here the 47 centimeter. Length of the handle was from the paired comparison result is 175 centimeter, and diameter of the handle, that is the inner grip diameter value. We have taken the 5th percentile value 4.6 centimeter, 5th percentile value, and in our pair comparison test result, so it's showing the 4.5 centimeter. It is more or less the same. So we have taken the final value for 4.5 centimeter. So leveler weight according to the paired test, that is 7 kg. Length of the leveler, that is 142 centimeter from the paired comparison test we have taken. So this is how we selected the final dimension of the leveler. And so this is a sketch diagram of the final diameter, that is the angle between the handle and the leveler. These are the handle length. Everything was selected, and here is a platform. Here one can give a keep the some weight during the leveling work. And you see, this is work how actually they are working with this modified redesigned leveler, and we have found that their comparison of the subjective assessment, that is the pain in shoulder and discomfort pain in the arm and the unstable body posture. So in all the cases, the modified one shows the very lower value. That means they work, it suggested that the worker work with each than that of the existing model, existing hand tool. And we also the productivity study, and we have seen that in different models, there are one existing and two modified model. We have seen that there is a significantly greater productivity value in case of the MM2. It is significantly no. So this is 23. This is the lowest time they taken. So this is MM1 model. Actually, this data has been taken in our final design, and also we studied the pulse rate. That is what is the physiological cost, and we have seen that the modified model has the lower physiological cost than that of the existing model, working with the existing model. And so during using this, they had to spend the lesser physiological cost. And now we are going to the animal draw leveler, and you see this same type of a ladder is used as this the leveling device, and this is the existing one, and also this is working with this working like this animal. This actually pulled by that, or that there are but many problems of this. The problems are there. We have evaluated the problem, the drawback, that is the uneven posture on the underside of the feet, because you see all this ladder, the worker, the farmer stand on this, and it is actually pulled by the two bulls. So during that, it is very difficult to maintain their posture also. That is posture. You see, they actually frequently they fall down from the posture, or they have to use the one leg to maintain their body balance, and they have the uneven pressure in different body parts on the feet. So these are the main problem, and which leads to the pain. And so we have intervention, we have made modification by providing two flat standing platform upon the ladder, and the gap between two platforms were fixed according to the choice of the user. So you see such type of two, there is no actually platform there. They simply stand on this ladder, but here we have some standing platform were given, some standing platform where they can stand here, and they can easily maintain their body balance, and the pressure on the underside of the foot will be evenly distributed. So this is actually the sketch diagram with the dimensions we have made, and this portion actually connected with the bull's shoulder, and they will pull this, and during this and here they will see, and these are all dimensions are given. We have selected dimensions. So here you see the modified leveler, and this is working with it. They actually, their posture is very good, and they are standing with a very good balance with this modified design leveler. And here you see, here also their subjective assessment showed that that discomfort on the underside of the sole of the feet was reduced significantly. Pain in the ankle joint was reduced, and balancing problem was also reduced, and accident case was also, there are some cases of accident also. They actually sometimes fall during the pulling by the bulls. They may fall sometimes. So these accident cases were also reduced. So thus these modified yes.
Sorry, Professor Thara, because we are running short of time. So kindly.
So I have to. How much time you are giving?
20 minutes time, because you have already
passed.
Now
I have how much time? 1 minute, 2 minutes, or please say.
Oh no, because you have already exceeded the time.
So now well. Just
1 minute time to conclude, please.
Okay. So actually,
sorry.
yes. Okay, no problem. we got actually we have the next we designing a tracing equipment also. So there are these are the conventional tracing equipment that they use, different types of equipment you use. So traditional tracing equipment. So actually this is what traditional equipment. There is a postural problem. Use the bending posture is there. So we have made some modification here, and this is how actually is the and paired comparison test also is done. And this is the final way we have, by considering the anthropometric data and paired comparison test, we have final design is made. This is the final design. Actually, 2 legs are used, and it is adjustable one. This height can be adjusted. This side of the slope of this pressing platform can be changed. Pressing platform edge can be changed, and so this is the final one. And you see here, this is the before intervention, and this is the before how the posture has been improved. Posture has been improved, and their musculoskeletal disorder has been improved, and also their pulse rate has been improved. Physiological there is work, and also their biomechanical stress is reduced. You see this joint angle study here. You see that this joint angle has been it is more or less normal here, and it is here is the sharp bending. And this is the productivity study we have made. Productivity has been also improved. So you see the conclusion, we can see that we have made the ergonomic intervention of the local equipment related to the rice cultivation. No high technology was used for such intervention. Simple ergonomic knowledge was applied for modifying this tool, and the provision of hand tools may be advantageous for the agriculture worker. They may those may reduce the work-related health hazards, and work may be done with lower physiological cost, and productivity may be enhanced. Productivity may be enhanced. So simple ergonomic principles can be applied to these local hand tools as they are completely use this local hand tool. Thus, we can help this informal sector workers in such a way. So thank you very much for listening. Just from the listeners of abroad, this is called the Vivekananda Rock, and in the southernmost part of the India, that is in Kanyakumari. This is a very holy place, and this is a very the people goes to see it, and many people. So thank you very much for patient hearing.
Thank you, Professor Thara, for your excellent presentation and about the low-cost intervention for in the agriculture sector. So thank you for it. So now we are for the last presentation, Professor Shogato Karmakar. So please leave your screen, and then the Shogato will share the screen. Professor Thara?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes, I am just. It is not yet done. Okay. Okay. Okay, done.
So, Professor Shogato Karmakar, please start your presentation. Please share your screen and start your presentation. And please unmute yourself.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible, and you are audible also. Please,
okay.
Continue.
So thank you, Professor Gangopadhyay and others organizers for giving this opportunity to present in front of all of you. So as you can see, my topic is design innovation for productivity enhancement in the Indian agricultural sector. So here you can see from the topic design innovation. So I will emphasize on the innovation part, and at the same time I will try to showcase how that innovation in terms of agricultural tools and devices can improve the agricultural productivity. So all of you know what is innovation, because in layman language, innovation is value addition. Whenever we are making some new or improved ideas, methods, products, services to create value and address challenges. So this is as per the definition of United Nations. So through this innovative process, what we are doing, whatever the existing tools and techniques are there, we are trying to add some new value so that it is more beneficial for the targeted population. And this innovation is very important from the perspective of our United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. If you look at goal number 9, so there we are talking about the innovation. Now, as my topic is discussing about agricultural productivity, so first we need to know what is agricultural productivity. So agricultural productivity is measuring how efficiently agricultural inputs are converted to outputs. Now, when you are making some tools or device for various types of agricultural activities, then how will you judge the improvement of productivity? So there could be two ways. One is the direct indicators of agricultural productivity. Others could be indirect indicators of agricultural productivity. When you're talking about the design and development of innovative agricultural tools or devices, then how that is helping in increasing the productivity? Because there are various indicators, direct indicators, that agricultural productivity could be enhanced by crop yielding per hectare. So there are various ways to improve the direct productivity. But when we are talking about the tools and devices for agricultural sector, then we are targeting crop cultivated per unit time with the help of improved farm mechanization. So it means whenever we are developing innovative tools, devices, or equipment that is helping, that how it is helping, we have to judge how is it helping in crop cultivated per unit time. At the same time, there is also some indirect indicators. So when we are using these tools or devices for any of the agricultural activities, say for example harvesting, how is it reducing the required time for agricultural activities or per unit area? Similarly, also we can get some other input from other indirect parameters, like how the tools or device is helping to improve the occupational health and safety of the agricultural workers. So I will discuss about two case studies. In both the case studies, I will try to showcase how those innovative tools have ultimately helped in increasing the agricultural productivity. So first case study is related to design and development of a floating device to facilitate aquatic agriculture. And this is the research work of my PhD student, Jitesh Singh Chauhan. So first we should know what is aquatic agriculture. In layman language, aquatic agriculture is nothing. It is somewhat different from the terrestrial or land-based traditional agriculture. It is agriculture in the water bodies. So here in the image, you can see that farmer is working inside the marshy land. Okay, there is water body, and when they're working in that water body, they're finding different types of challenges. And very different types of aquatic fruit crops are cultivated. And these are very important because when we are ensuring our food security for the growing population, then obviously we need to explore other alternative agricultural means. So from this perspective, aquatic agriculture is very important. And now in the current research, we'll talk about harvesting of the water chestnut. So in the water chestnut cultivation process, there are various steps. You can see step by step, various processes are involved. In our research, we are concentrating on harvesting, the last one. Now in that harvesting process, what is happening? Actually in that harvesting process or overall agricultural process in this aquatic agriculture, when these farmers are going for harvesting the water chestnut, they need to stay inside the stagnant unhygienic water for long hours, 5 to 6 hours per day. Second, what is happening? They have to stay inside that water, and that water is up to their waist or neck. And some design interventions are available. With that, they are going inside the water. Some floating devices are available. For example, some small boats are available, but those cannot fulfill their purpose because in many instances, it hinders the task requirement and also leads to awkward posture. You can see this type of vessels they are using, and those vessels are not, these vessels are not good for their posture because this may be for different purpose. Similarly, this type of small boats are there, but also in that case also they are adopting awkward posture because the purpose of the boat is completely different. That's not for this agriculture. So what they are doing, they are developing their own floating device. But those floating devices here you can see with the tin container and connected with the bamboo or wooden stick or some mud, clay-made vessels they have connected. But all these locally made floating devices are suffering from maintenance and safety related issues. In every season, they need to make a new one, and at the same time, while they are using this type of floating devices, they are finding different types of problems because there is chance of toppling. At the same time, it is not long lasting. They need to make a new one in every season. So these are the existing one, as I already discussed. So that's why the aim of the current research is to develop a floating device to facilitate aquatic agriculture. And these are the various objectives. I am not going in details because time is very limited. So standard design methodology was followed. First, we tried to understand the user's need and their requirement, what are the various problems they are facing, then tried to define the problem, then went for different types of concept generation, and based on those various concepts, we finalized one concept, which we are going to the next step for making the prototype, and further we are going for prototype testing. So this study was carried out in Northeast India in the state of Assam. So initially various concepts are explored, and based on those concepts, you can see initial sketching was done, and after that various CAD models are made, and from that CAD models through one well-known technique, it is called pug chart. Using that pug chart, we tried to identify out of the various concepts which one is the best one, and we found this concept number 3 that is getting the score of 14 according to the pug matrix. So we proceed for this particular concept for mock-up and prototype development. So you can see this is our proposed design where we are using this type of 2 vessels and connected with some structure, and this is the, you can see different components, all the names are written. So what are the various characteristics? So it is providing appropriate thigh clearance, there is seating arrangement. At the same time, when they are it is made according to their anthropometric dimensions, and this is designed in such a way that if you look at the front edges or back edges, it is smooth, round curvature, so it's not getting entangled with the mesh of the plants in the water bodies, and moreover, it is lightweight and durable. So after developing the initial CAD model, we tested with the digital human modeling to check whether it is anthropometrically compatible or not. After that, also we tried to check the buoyancy, that whether the floating device, whatever we have developed, whether it is allowing the or providing the required buoyancy force. After that, we proceed for the prototype development. So there is standard process. So we use the material called FRP, fiber reinforced plastic polymer. So with that, so first step by step, first we made the pattern, then mold, and then finally develop the prototype. After developing the prototype, we went for testing. So this is the prototype, and then you can see in the image that farmer or agricultural worker using that prototype for the harvesting of the water chestnut. Here I am showing you one video. You can see so this is the floating device. On that floating device, they can float, and while they are floated, because the depth of the water at this particular location is relatively high, so they cannot come, okay, without any floating device. After that, we just here are the various data regarding their socio-demographic characteristics. Now we are coming to the point that how it is increasing the productivity. So we tried to show that it is helping in productivity in terms of harvesting rate. So per hour, how much kg they can harvest. So for that purpose, 10 farmers, okay, was volunteered for this particular trial. So you can see in terms of harvesting, there is difference. And ultimately, we found that with the new floating device, while they are harvesting, there is 15% increase in the harvesting rate. And also that is, this difference is statistically significant. Then also we measured the heart rate. In terms of heart rate, this is the resting heart rate. This is with the traditional one or the traditional practice, and this is with the floating device, newly designed floating device. So here also we found significant reduction in the heart rate while they are working. And in terms of discomfort rating, so we also asked them to go for discomfort rating for both their traditional device as well as the newly developed device. Here also we found that in case of newly developed device, there is a reduction of body part discomfort. Then also evaluated the usability of that newly developed product with system usability scale. This is on standard method, and with that, following that method, we got the score of 72.25. So this indicates that from the usability perspective, this is a good device. So ultimately, so by developing this device, we could have proved that it has increased the productivity. It is also good for various physiological parameters, particularly heart rate, and also it is reducing the pain. So by this type of design intervention, where we are adding some innovative features, we are ultimately helping the agricultural workers to improve the productivity. In this particular case, it is in case of harvesting. Next, okay, so based on this particular outcome, with that whatever prototype we developed, we went for design registration. So 2 Indian design registration we filed, and it is both are granted, and at the same time it was also, we got also Indian utility patent. The next case study is related to design and development of manual pineapple harvester suitable for the needs of pineapple farmers in Northeast India. So this is again research work of one of my research scholar, earlier research scholar. His name is Hijam Jiten Singh. So in Northeast India, there is huge production of pineapple, and it is this area actually produce half of the country's organic production. The 6 northeastern states always remain in the top 10 pineapple producing states in the country. Now in the pineapple harvesting process, so although there are different steps in the cultivation process, but here also we are considering only the harvesting. So in the pineapple harvesting, how they are doing? So they are going to the field, identifying the fruits, then harvesting. So in the pineapple harvesting, it is generally in this northeast area, it is done manually, and why they are doing so that the fruit is not damaged and the crown is remained. So at the top of the fruit, there is crown, leaves-like structure, so that should be remain intact. Then how they are doing? So generally farmers bring this type of basket at their shoulder, or it is attached with their forehead, and they are using either they are picking up those pineapple with bare hand, or they are using some cutting tools like sickle or knife. So here, if you look at this video, then you will see this is the traditional practice. So how they are cultivating. So they are adopting this type of bending posture, then cutting with this type of knife, and then putting inside the basket. So this is time consuming, and it leads to injury. One is that they are using sharp tool. At the same time, this pineapple plant is such that there is thorn along the plant leaves, and also there is at the tip of the leaves, it is very like spine-like structure. Then therefore the farmers are exposed to health hazards and body strain due to this type of awkward posture. So eminent risk factors are posture, and at the same time they need to handle heavy loads because they're carrying this type of heavy loads. So when they're putting more number of pineapple, they need to carry this either at the forehead or shoulder. Now, if we look at the literature, there are different types of harvesting process for pineapple, starting from manual to robotics. But in this Northeast context, semi-mechanical, mechanical like boom conveyor or robotics is not applicable. For that, there are different reasons. As in my earlier painter also painted that, okay, small and marginal land holdings, okay, then technology adoption rate is not that much good. They cannot afford costly equipment. The terrain is such that this type of bigger equipment cannot be used in that terrain. So due to all this reason, it is better whatever the existing practice is there, if we can assist in their existing practice by providing some manual tools. So our target was to develop some manual harvester. Now, so as I mentioned, so aim of the current research was to investigate the problem associated with the pineapple harvesting task and to develop innovative design solution to reduce their drudgery and at the same time improving the productivity. So again, some northeastern states, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, those areas were studied for this pineapple harvesting process and what are the difficulties they are facing. And then we followed standard methodology. We followed structure schedule to get that their socio-demographic data, try to understand what type of tools they are using right now, and during these activities, what type of problem they are facing, starting from body part discomfort, and at the same time, if they are reporting some other sorts of injury, so that type of data are collected, and also evaluated their posture using standard REBA technique. And finally, we came up with design solution. So these are the existing tools, whatever they're using for harvesting purpose. So you can see different types of sickles, knives with different types of handle length they are using. Then we checked them, initially studied that how is the musculoskeletal symptoms due to this type of upward posture, repetitive motion, and we found that really they are suffering. And then you can see the posture adopted during the harvesting task. So these are the awkward posture while they are harvesting or collecting those fruits. Then according to the REBA score, how much REBA score is coming for this type of activity, which is the grand score is coming to 11. So it means it is indicating that it is very high score and immediate action is required for change. Then standard design methodology was followed as I discussed in the earlier study. So similar study was method was followed to develop the new harvesting device. So for designing, various aspects are considered. Design considerations like user parameters, anthropometric data related to these variables are collected from already published data. Then crop parameters, size of the crop, machine parameters. So all these aspects are considered before going for the concept generation. So here you can see we measured the dimension of the fruits, different components of the fruits, and then also we studied the physical and mechanical properties of the pineapple, so that accordingly we can develop the we can go for the appropriate design intervention. Now you can see that these anthropometric data are used for developing that pineapple harvester. We considered the tool weight, handle length, handle diameter, and for that purpose, various dimensions, various values are provided from different references. Then handle holding height, that was also decided. Then following morphological chart, we developed various concepts. Here you can see so many concepts to initially develop. Out of those concepts, which one is the best concept for which we can go for the prototype development. So for that purpose, we used Park chart matrix, and based on that, we identified this particularly concept for that is getting the highest score. Based on that Park chart response, we selected the concept 4 and proceed further. So here you can see concept. These are the good concepts: concept 3, concept 4, concept 5, and concept 6. But out of this, we found, according to the Park matrix, concept 4 is the best one. So we took it forward for making the prototype. So initially, 4 mockups are developed for the 4 concepts, and finally, for all those 4 concepts, we also filed design registration, and all these 4 for this 4 concept with this product, we got the Indian design registration. After that, the best concept, that is the concept 4, are developed for prototype making. Here you can see step by step we proceed. So these are the various components. Those components are assembled. Then those components were taken to the field for user testing and feedback. Based on their feedback, again it was modified so that we can provide the better hand support. Okay, so that they can hold it properly, they can operate it properly. And now you can see when that field testing is going on, how they are using. So now you can see their posture is relatively better. They need not to bend. Okay, with this type of telescopic handle, they can cut from a certain distance and they can pick up and they can keep inside the basket.
Professor Karmakar,
Yeah.
actually we're running short of time because after your
Yeah.
session, question
It is
answer
over.
session.
Yeah, it is over.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So in this case also, we tried to prove how it is enhancing the new design tool, how it is enhancing the productivity. So here also we showed that heart rate, okay, the working heart rate is less in case of newly designed harvester. Similarly, also if we see in terms of body part BDS scores, body part discomfort score, so overall discomfort score is also less in case of newly developed harvester. Then in terms of recovery heart rate also, for the newly developed pineapple harvester, the recovery heart rate, the time for the recovery, so time in minute, the recovery to coming to the heart rate to the base level, it is taking less time, only 7.69 minutes. But in the existing method, whatever they are following, there it is taking almost 21 minutes. We also tested the product's usability using system usability scale, and it was found it is in the acceptable range. Mean from the user's response, we found that the developed pineapple harvester was acceptable in terms of its usability. So finally, so we are able to show that this type of design intervention, ergonomic design intervention, can really help the farmers in avoiding their awkward posture, at the same time to improve their overall productivity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Karmakar, for your excellent presentation. And we are at the end of this session. And now we are going for another session. I'm asking Professor Mujammil to take over the session for the question answer session. Please, Professor Mujammil.
Thank you, Professor Somnath. Very nice presentations and really marvelous work that in what way we can facilitate the informal work to get the better productivity and better performance as far as musculoskeletal disorders are concerned, and in what way we can improve the working condition and enhance the productivity. So since we are running short of time, we are having different questions. So first of all, I'm going to ask the question from Ernesto Caracamo. That is for the modified paddy spreader. Was it necessary to retain the workers on a different technique? So please, Professor Dhara,
can you repeat?
Yes, for the modified paddy spreader, was it necessary to retain the workers on a different technique?
Different technique. But I don't understand the question.
Okay. Anyone from the panel? This paddy spreader, was it necessary to retain the workers on a different technique? So that is different techniques are there, and probably the question is asking that is it necessary to retain the workers on a different technique, that is in what way the work can be carried out by different techniques so the worker can be performed accordingly.
Yes, that is possible. That is possible. Actually,
Yes.
any design is not the perfect.
Right,
So
right.
other intervention is possible, and another technique can be applied for more efficiently or with the least exertion to the worker. It is possible.
Yes, we can retrain the workers on different techniques, and accordingly he can work, and the studies can be carried out to find out in what way he is comfortable and where the work productivity can be enhanced accordingly. Another question from the same person is that did the workers participated in the tools redesign? Please describe the participatory process.
Yes, actually they, yes, it was a participatory process. We involved the workers, that is the users, those who use the hand tools, and we have made a paired comparison test. It is a standard test actually. It will take time to describe the whole process, but in nutshell, I can say that actually what model we have developed, prototype model, and in actually we asked the worker to work with this two models in pair, and we actually asked them to provide the score in comparison to a reference one and to the reference one. Then for the mathematical calculation, the score was analyzed, and we have find out the
accordingly the design was
best
correct.
score. Best score. So that's the participatory. This is a participatory mode design.
Yes. All right. Another is from Mr. Arun Kumar P. Is there any standard available for designing the handle to suit maximum population? Some standards are available for the design so that it is going to suit for the maximum population which is working in that area.
Actually, handle design is most important thing, but you see, it will be varied from the case to case. Case to case, different types of work in different types of handle, or different types of machine or machine tools. Different types of handles should be used, that we can say their specification will be the different. But you see, but some of the dimension can be standardized. That is according to the inner hand grip diameter of the population that can be taken. There is a diameter, and their placement of the grip area or another thing that depends on the tools to tools or work to work. It depends. So it can be standardized. Some of the dimension can be standardized.
Yes, of course. Sure.
But all the dimension cannot be standardized.
Just very quickly, two more questions. This question is to Professor Das.
Yep.
He says, do you believe the government should take the initiative to implement policies in the informal sectors, especially in the areas you mentioned? What possible steps could be taken to involve policymakers in such spaces? That is, he's talking about initiative to implement policies in the informal sectors by the government.
We all know that the main issue is that the stakeholders. Now, the stakeholders, whether they're interested at all to do it, and if at all the government wants to do it, then there are, I think, no specific policies rather to consider these conditions. But we think the main possible way is that if you can assemble the stakeholders and take their opinion and go into policy making and all that. Because until and unless you go to the ground level, you won't be able to design any policy or derive any policy. Right.
Okay. So another question goes to Professor Dhara.
Yeah.
This is really a relevant question when he is talking about that being a son of a farmer. I believe such equipments are extremely useful. Unfortunately, such equipments are not reaching to the end users. So my question is, what could be possible steps needed to be considered so that such instruments can reach to the farms in need? What is your comment on ergonomics trainings need to farmers? This is really a practical one, actually, and we have to think about this.
Yes. Actually, you see, even we have seen that even after the designing process, in that very area, people are not accepting this because they are not trained at all. So training is very much required, and they should be make understand that how they will be helpful for them for better production and lesser health hazards. So the training is equal. So, but training is local training is very much important. It is not possible for the training for the in state-wise or country-wise. Local training is required. So, I think government should come forward to make some arrangement for such kind of
and
training.
of course we should have a mechanism so that the designs, the new techniques should reach to the end user, so that actual benefit, the stakeholders should get benefited in this.
Yes,
with
yes,
these
definitely.
were the questions we are having all about it, but actually the way the presenters has given the insight and in what way the problem can be solved, it has really given a further boost to the research. Then in what way we can consolidate all the researches so that they can be transmitted to the end users, and these can be implemented in the field, and so that the vagaries of the things related to the work which is being carried out can be eliminated, and the productivity may be enhanced, the worker can be at ease, and also the other things related to this can be eliminated. So this is really an eye-opener as far as the webinar is concerned, that in what way we should have all these things together to come out with a possible solution in this regard. With this, thank you very much for this session, and the questions raised were really relevant, and I hope we are going to work on it to get the things done in a proper manner. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Professor Somnath.
Thank you for your nice presentation. All the speakers had the nice presentations and very informative presentation, and that can be, depicted from the questions we have received from the different parts. And there's Professor Muzammil, I found one question is left in the question answer, that Shantika Das, she added one question to the Professor Kormukar. So can you just please read out that thing?
Sure. Oh, I have, sorry. So it was, yes, it was Professor Karmakar. That is, what is your comment on the return on ergonomics investment education for relevant stakeholders? This was a script from I'm sorry for that. Professor Karmakar.
Yes, you are mute.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, please just repeat. There are two questions. Okay, which one?
Yes.
Please repeat once again.
Yes, it is. What is your comment on return or ergonomics investment education for relevant stakeholders?
And there is another question also from Shantika Das.
Yeah.
Professor.
That is after that.
Yes, please.
Okay. It is to you as well. That is, how do you usually test the durability and safety of prototypes in actual farm conditions before considering scale?
Yeah. So I'm coming to the next question, okay, because first question I could not understand exactly what she is trying to mean. Okay, I mean, what type of education? Education of our learning, or it is learning for the farmers?
It is probably on the farmers, that is on whatever investment on the tools, etc. is going to be made. This is to be told to the stakeholders that if you are going to invest something in that regard, you are going to reap benefits in the coming days. So this is also a return on investment in that regard.
Yeah, so that is already proved. Okay, when we have given those newly developed device and they are using, they found the benefit. Okay, benefit in terms of, as you mentioned, there is increase in the rate of harvesting. At the same time, less drudgery, less body part discomfort. So from that, obviously, they can easily identify that if there is little bit cost involved, but at the same time, whatever benefit they are getting, benefit in terms of if any of the equipment, any of the tools enhancing the production rate, obviously that is very much beneficial, because labor is costly. Okay, so it is really beneficial for them. So I think the users will really will be ready to adopt that one. And the next question is related to how we can check the durability and the safety. So in this particular research, we did not check the durability and the safety per se. But on the other hand, I will say, whatever the existing problems are there related to durability and related to safety, like, okay, they are using the knife, they are making that floating device, which is not long lasting, but whatever we develop with the reinforced FRP, fiber reinforced polymer, So that is long lasting because its property is like that. It's not corroded in the water, and there is nothing like rope or anything is there to tie the components. So automatically it will be durable. And at the safety, in terms of safety, when that device is not toppling inside the water, we check the balance at the pineapple harvester. There is no open blade. Everything is enclosed properly, and the overall the whatever operation they are doing, that is completely safe. There is no chance of injury because from a certain distance they are harvesting the pineapple. So I think from both the perspective, it is safe and as well as it is durable.
Right. Yes. So these were the questions raised. With this, Professor, over to Professor Somnath.
And I should say, Dr. Clive should end the session for saying something to the speakers. So may I request Dr. Clive, please.
Yes, thank you, Professor Somnath. I'd like to thank all of our wonderful presenters, Professor Das, Professor Dara, Professor Kamakar. Thank you for your insightful presentation, the fascinating work that you're doing, the incorporation of key principles of human factors, ergonomics, frugal engineering, being creative, being innovative in your work. It's been a delight to host all of you. My sincere thanks to our presenters again, to our moderator, Professor Muzammil, and to the IEA for providing us this venue to host this webinar series and showcase the wonderful work happening in the informal sector and ergonomics around the world. I encourage all of you, if you're interested in learning more about our technical committee, our monthly meetings, or future webinars. Our next webinar is scheduled for late September on informal work in New York City. I encourage you to send me an email. This is our information again, our contact information. You're also welcome to contact any of our regional vice chairs, and they can put you in touch with me. Our next monthly meeting is on Friday, September 19th, and I invite you all to attend, participate, and also provide any suggestions or recommendations you have for future webinars. With that, my thanks again to all of you. Thank you for your time and sharing your knowledge. And we look forward to this continued collaboration on informal work and ergonomics. So with that,
thank you, Dr. Clive, for your wonderful comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been my
Pleasure
pleasure.
is all mine. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Clive. Thank you, Professor Gangobadhai.
Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Same
you.
to you.